And so, in regards to clarifying terminology, right? I want to also talk about what makes a good villain. Because I use The Usual Suspects, and I address this saying, yes, this is a grown-up film, and Disney makes for stuff for kids. So, there are a lot of great villains in grown-up movies. I mean, obviously, because we can understand these layers of complexity that will elude kids a lot. And there's a lot of adult humor in many kids' movies now.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Right, because they're not going to get it, but let's make something for the parents and bring the children. And that's the good kind of targeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? They're like, let's put something in it for the parents.
Something for everyone.
But even then, the right movies, the good movies, make that humor work. And it fits. It's not this out of place thing where you're like, what?
It's not like, well,
that's not funny. That just made me uncomfortable because you're talking about something.
Sex joke in this movie?
Yeah, you're like, there's a sex joke in this movie. It doesn't belong in this movie, and it certainly doesn't belong in that conversation. You know? But then there's other times where they make these innuendos and these kind of allusions, and you're like, oh, that was great. Right? These kids aren't going to understand that, right? But I do, and it's awesome, because I get to have a little bit of adult moment. I get to have a little adult chuckle.
And kids love when parents enjoy what they watch.
The kids want their parents to have fun.
Yes.
Right? They don't want to feel alone, right? We're going together, we're going to do this thing.
That.
Right? And that was the thing I was talking about, like the bridge. Right? I don't want to watch a movie and then have to wait for you to build a bridge. Like, we as the audience, our goal is to get to the end as fast as we can. Right? I hope I hope it's a long movie. Right?
Yes.
I hope it takes us 100 minutes to get there. I hope that's the fastest route. But our goal is to get there as fast as we can. Right? And go, oh, look at all this, look at the treasure, yay! But if we have to stop every time there's a canyon and wait for you to build a bridge, it's boring.
It's bad pacing.
Right. So oh, this part's really good. Oh, wait, we have to wait because they're going to explain to us. First we put the plank. Then we tie the rope. Then we put the plank. Then we tie the rope. Then we put the plank.
Yeah.
Then we tie the rope. See how I'm slowing down? Then we put the plank.
Oh, gosh.
Then we tie the rope. Then we put the plank. Then this is what happens in movies when the foundations aren't structured. And they're like, now we have to explain to you what we're trying to say instead of just saying it.
And Disney, they know how to pace it, so you don't even realize.
Like I said, it's based on those formulaic musicals.
And there are times in Frozen where the action just stops.
Like we were talking about the songs?
Yes.
How the one song goes into the other song. What? First of all, those songs don't work next to each other. And second of all, they're not related. Anyway, so that was that. So that's good. We covered that.
Okay.
So let's talk about good Disney villains. Like why did these movies work? Because the villains were good?
Because
that's what we talked about. We're trying to have this discussion about why he's a good villain.
Yes.
And I was like, he's not a villain.
He's
the antagonist because he's the thing that makes the protagonist go on the journey.
He's a tool. You said he's a tool.
Right. And he is the antagonist. He's the reason why why the conflict exists. Right? But there's no foundation for why he's evil. Right? Now,
strong foundation.
Right. And in an adult movie, sure. We don't necessarily know who the villain is up front, right? But in a good adult film, in a good, mature, grown-up story, I don't like it sucks. You can't
just say in a good film.
You can't even say adult film anymore.
Just say in a good film.
In a good movie, in a good kind of PG-13 R-rated movie. Let's say that. Like it's just you justify the existence, right? Yeah, exactly.
Mother crackers. We're doubling up anyways, right?
No, I can't. I will. I should actually. You justify the existence of the villain and their actions. You explain it. Mm-hmm. You explain, or you show somehow that there's legitimacy in the villain's path, like what they want. Right, because we're not supposed to agree with what they want, but the best villains are the ones where we either understand it,
yes,
or we don't understand it, but we have a really strong feelings about it.
Yeah, we go,
right,
oh,
why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense to me. Well, he's a sociopath. He doesn't have feelings, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why you're feeling it and he doesn't feel it. That's the reason. And so it elicits this huge emotional response, and we're like, I cannot believe that this person would do that, right? And then you're frozen, and you're like, so he didn't have a throne.
And now he wants a throne.
And he wants a throne.
And he wants to kill the princesses.
So yeah, exactly. Like, he wants to have, so he does all of these really elaborate things that we don't find out about till the end.
Mm-hmm.
When he didn't need to.
Mm.
Why couldn't he have just come in and say, I think you're beautiful. I'd like to get to know you because honestly, I think I'd be a good king. I want to be a king. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way I'm going to have a throne.
You know, you're right. They don't explain why
couldn't he just come in and be like, we should date? You're pretty. Like, you're pretty. So, and I like you.
Would you say he's, he's underdeveloped? Well,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yes.
But there's no reason for him to be an evil villain.
I see. Okay,
I see
what
saying.
You're getting at now.
So for instance, let's look at Aladdin. Because we brought it up.
Yeah, because we
brought it up. Okay, there's Jafar.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. What do we know about Jafar?
We don't really know anything. We know that he wants.
We know he wants
to be the Sultan.
Right. He wants power. He wants power. But from the beginning of the movie, at the very beginning of the movie, what's the first thing that happens in the movie? It's Jafar taking the thief and making him go in the Cave of Wonders to get the treasure.
Because he don't want to do it.
Because he wants the treasure so he can have power. We know exactly what he wants. So every scene that we see him, we're like, everything that he does, we know why he does it.
Yeah.
Okay? Right? Good villain. Right? Because Aladdin is the opposite. Aladdin doesn't want power. He would love some money. He would love, because I just want a house. But look at my view. He's like, look what I have. Look at my perspective on the world, right?
He's happy.
So Little Mermaid, Ursula.
She wants to rule over that ocean.
She wants to rule right. They're all megalomaniacs, basically what I'm saying. She wants to rule the kingdom. But, so why does he steal her voice?
And it's so she could have because that's the power that she will hold over King Triton.
Right.
Because she, even in those 3 days when she has her voice, she owns Ariel.
Right. Exactly. She could kidnap Ariel.
Yeah, she could.
Why does she kidnap Ariel? Because it's more manipulative, and she feels like she can get more accomplished if she steals Ariel's voice and it promises her something.
Yes.
She's like, I'm gonna make a deal with you. You're gonna give me something I want. I'm gonna give you something you want.
I always thought it was very Faustian, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh. Like she's
right. And again,
I like deals like that.
I was like, be careful on that chair.
Oh, that's
because it'll break. That's how it broke the first time.
Who did it? Was it Lydia?
Probably. I don't know. Anyway,
it's the only one I know who's in here. Lydia, you're gonna be in my show.
I'm glad you brought up Faust.
Lydia's gonna be in Cinderella.
I'm glad you brought up Dr. Faustus. That's really great.
Yes.
Because but again, the whole concept of
who was the villain in Faustus?
Mephistopheles.
I can't say it. Say it again.
Mephistopheles.
He's a good villain.
He's a great villain.
Yes.
Yeah. Kids, see what I'm talking about? Literature. Stay in school.
We just referenced Ursula with Mephistopheles.
Right. Mephistopheles is a great villain. And in that regard, though, Mephistopheles represents the devil. So the devil is really the villain, and Mephistopheles is kind of his messenger boy. Mm-hmm. But he's the character that we see as the villain. Yes. So it's fine. We can say that he equates to the villain, right? Because they're the same entity. Because he's the messenger of the villain, of the devil. Anyway, so there's a lot of stories that are like that. Because it's a foundational kind of trope that you can use, which is fine to be Faustian. That's why they call it that. That's fine. But again, Ursula could have just kidnapped her, but she chose to do this instead. Mm-hmm. And we don't question it.
No, we don't.
Because we understand why, even though it's more complicated.
No, we understand exactly why.
You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
Because we relate to what Ariel wants.
That is true.
I know, she wants this thing that she can't have, and Ursula goes, I can give it to you right now. Candy, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Can we edit that out too?
Why?
Candy. I don't want to equate. Oh well, you know what? If it works,
I don't know. We'll look at it.
If it works,
but you get my point.
Okay. I get your point. Yeah.
Right? We all growing up, that's something that we understand. Now,
I can give it to you now.
Right, if somebody could just give it to you now.
You're right, because Ariel was even gonna go up to the world.
She was gonna go up as a mermaid.
Yeah.
And King Triton was like, no.
Oh god.
No, you don't do that.
And then they even explained why she chose to go there because let's see.
And then it's like Sim, and then Sebastian and Flounder are like, you shouldn't do this.
And she's like,
and that's why Sebastian goes with her.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you're gonna need my help.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you've done this stupid thing.
Right, that's beautiful.
Okay?
Oh my
right.
gosh.
So we have Aladdin.
I love this movie too. There's not some new
and we have
stuff
Little
for
Mermaid.
reason.
Little Mermaid.
Wait, Little Mermaid.
Beauty and the Beast.
See, we haven't even mentioned this one, but we don't really need to anymore.
What?
We don't really need to talk about Snow White anymore because we said so many points about the other.
Well, in some ways, it's a classic fairy tale, and you'll see but you understand the point.
Yeah,
like we know what Maleficent wants.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She wants to be the most beautiful. She's
oh no, you're mixing them up.
I mean, not
the Evil Queen.
The Evil Queen, which is not Maleficent. Maleficent is from
Although now there is a spin-off. If Maleficent was the Evil Queen,
they're the same character. You know that.
I always thought they were.
They're the same character, which is why I said that. But you're right. It's not. They're not the same story, but they're the same character. So the Evil Queen is Snow White wants.
They are. They're the same archetype.
They're the same, right? Yeah. So Maleficent and the Evil Queen are basically the same character, and they basically want the same things. Right. So, because Snow White's the fairest.
Well, Maleficent never really, You know what? As much as people like her, people say, "Oh, because she's just evil." What does Maleficent want, though?
But see, that's the thing. You can't. There's no strength in a character just being evil.
I don't think
evil.
She's just evil.
Evil isn't interesting. Why? Because God. Done.
They said, "Wait, let's see."
I'm not saying that you have to. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't be Christian or whatever. But if your argument is that this villain is good because of evil. Then guess what? You suck because God. Done. Story's over. No story.
She was left out of that big christening for. Did they say christening in a Disney film? Actually, I'm not sure. She was left out of the party for when Aurora was born.
The naming party.
The naming party.
That's what a christening is. It's a naming party.
Okay. She was, and so she felt left out. But then for like a good 16 years, she was like, "Oh, this girl's gonna die because of me."
Right.
So she was bitter. And
right.
So.
And it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter how trivial that moment was that she was left out. It hurt her.
It
hurt her.
We don't question her throughout the whole thing because she's just so strongly voiced, and
she's
written.
Convicted to what she feels.
Yes.
Which again, I understand that. We understand what it's like to be convicted to what we feel. Right? Regardless of how trivial it is, we all have trivial things that we feel passionate about.
And what a beautiful vocal performance from Eleanor Audrey? Damn, look at me.
Right? Way to go, man.
Eleanor Audrey as Maleficent.
Okay,
now
good.
It's Angelina Jolie.
So we talked about Evil Queen. So here's these really good Disney villains, right?
Yeah. The Snow Queen originally. Well, we'll go into that later, but
what did I say here? What is this?
I
hate it when I can't.
The Disney villains, they were defined, like the best ones.
Right.
They were defined.
The really good ones were defined.
And it's not that they were like, I don't want to say there was like, oh, here's the white hat, here's the black hat. They were as developed as the heroes, right?
As you mentioned before.
Yeah.
Right? Your hero's really only as good as your villain.
Yes.
Right. Right. Why? Because it's not a triumph if it's easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Who celebrates more? The one who jumped over the rock or the one who climbed the mountain? They're both made of rock.
Mm-hmm.
The one who climbed the mountain had to work harder. That's who I would celebrate. Why the hell would I can jump over a rock. Troll. Speaking of trolls, back to Frozen. Right? Ratatouille. Same thing. I mentioned Ratatouille. Brad Bird. Ratatouille. Right? Who's the villain in Ratatouille? It's the little.
I think you and I are gonna watch. We're gonna watch Cats Don't Dance.
Okay, we'll watch that.
I love Brad Bird, but did he do Iron Giant?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I'll look it up later. I'll IMDb later. But